email, and we will decide on next steps. So, and we will, and I will certainly get back to you with what those next steps might be.
But this is time, because again, it seems like he wants this to elapse, right? Because again, I asked you for an extension. I've asked repeatedly, like, that I want this to be extended because I've been busy. That's why I haven't given my police statement. But now I'm ready and willing to give my police, and that's a huge part of it, right? That's pretty much the main. Like, I was the one that was falsely arrested, but the whole police brutality, all of the corrupt actions of those cops. Like, the statement is pretty much like the main, like, key evidence, right? So without that statement, if he's refusing to do his job, if he's being so unprofessional and corrupt that he's actually actively obstructing this investigation, refusing to take my statement, then that's like the main body, that's the main evidence. Like, without that, it can't be considered complete, the investigation, because that's pretty much, like I said, that's the main body, that's the key evidence. So I'd like an answer on this, like, today, because again, it's February 3rd now, right? And they're trying to close the investigation on February 9th and not give an extension. So that's only gonna leave like how many days? So, like, I think he wants this to elapse. He wants, February 9th to arrive, not take the statement or whatever. So, like, you guys gotta be quick on this. And there's nothing to review, right? It's a short email, and he has to do his job, right?
We are reviewing his position, and we will take appropriate steps.
But there is
there's nothing what our options are to ensure that the file is complete and thorough.
And like all of this, I've been recording all of these phone conversations, the emails, anything, right? So I'm gonna release all of this on social media anyway. So there's evidence of corruption. Like, if you guys actually allow him to refuse to take my statement, allow him to obstruct the investigation, like, this is all gonna be like exposed online and everything. So it makes the OPCC look bad, the VPD already look bad. Like, there's so many stories of police corruption in that department anyways, so most people already know about that, but it makes them look bad. So there's nothing, like, tell me what, there's nothing to review. It's like it's a couple of paragraphs long, and again, the gist of it is he's trying to make excuses. He's saying he's busy. He's saying he's too busy to do his job. Apparently, like, he's got some other file or something to do, even though there's like 9 days left in the investigation. Like, again, I told you on January 31st that I wanted to do the police statement, and I called Troy multiple times on that day after speaking to you, and intentionally or not, he's not picking up his phone. I left a message, he hasn't called me back. So it's obvious again, and same thing with Martin. Now I know what Martin's doing, but obviously he hasn't enforced this, so it's obvious, like, both of them are refusing to do their job. So there's nothing really to review, right? Like, you've got to make him, that's the whole point of the OPC, isn't it? Like, to ensure that there's a thorough, unbiased investigation, right? Isn't that the whole mandate of the of your committee, the oversight committee, right? To make sure that the VPD does a thorough, unbiased investigation, right?
Like I said, we are reviewing his position.
But you keep saying that. You keep saying that.
Next steps. Please don't interrupt me. I allowed you to speak without interruption. Please
Go
give
for
me
it.
the same courtesy. So as I say, we are reviewing his email and his decision, and we will come to next steps and make sure that the complaint investigation is complete and thorough.
What is there to review?
And I don't think I have to revisit my comments again. So you'll be notified.
You haven't made any specific comments. You just keep repeating the same thing over and over again, that you're going to review his position is that he doesn't want to do his job.
So do you.
That's his position.
So do you, Mr. Dead. I guess really the point is that this whole matter could have been avoided if you had participated during the course of the investigation.
Are you kidding me?
So
I told you I was I'm really...
Please don't deflect it back on us when you had...
You're trying to deflect on me. You're trying to deflect on me, and that's what he's doing too. I told you, there's still like 9 days left. When I called you that day, there's still 9 days left in the year. There's nothing that says, is there anything in the act that says I have to give a statement by this time within the investigation? That's up to me. Like, the person doesn't even have to be involved, right? Once you make that initial complaint and the process gets started, you don't even have to, but I want to provide, because like that's key evidence, my statement of the whole corrupt actions of those cops. So there's nothing that says that I have to give my statement like a month prior to the completion of the investigation, 2 months prior, 1 week prior. I could probably give it on the day of, like February 9th apparently is the so-called deadline of the investigation. I could give my statement on February 8th probably if I want. There's nothing, is there anything that says, is there anything in the police act or whatever that says, that specifies that a complainant has to give their statement by this day, by this, Is there anything in the act that says that?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yes.
You're going to give me an opportunity?
Go for it.
There is nothing in the act that mandates a complainant to participate.
Exactly. So how can you be trying to deflect that on me? How can you be saying, it's obvious you guys, I like the couple of times I've spoken today, you're being kind of unprofessional because you're trying to deflect on me, but the last time I spoke to you, you seem professional. Like Martin, unprofessional. Troy, extremely unprofessional. But
okay, sir, I think I don't see this conversation going anywhere more positive than it has been.
No, but I'm asking you.
I will end the conversation saying to you that the matter is under review. And
what does that mean, though? What is that? It's a short email. Like, what is there to review?
Thorough and complete.
It's
so
not thorough.
If
he's refusing to do his job, that's not thorough and complete. Like, unless I give my statement, as I said, until I give my statement, it can't be considered complete. It's just a sham of an investigation. If he's refusing to do his job, if you guys are refusing to enforce that he do his job, it's a complete sham of an investigation.
Repeat back to me what I said, please.
You keep saying the same thing over and over again. You probably...
Then you repeat it back to me, please.
Huh? Repeat back what I said. Like, why aren't you answering my question in, like, detail? You're just trying to skirt the question, right? You're not providing any specifics. You just keep saying you're gonna review his decision. His decision is not to do his job. Like, how can... Like I said, there's so much skepticism about police investigating themselves, and this is exactly why. It's obvious, like, I've got so much evidence that those cops are corrupt, like the ones that falsely arrested me. Of course, the false charges were dropped, and it seems like he's just trying to protect his corrupt buddies. That's why he doesn't want to do this investigation properly. And also, in that email, he mentioned, like, knowing how corrupt a lot of cops in VPD are, I sometimes record police encounters, right? Like, police incidents. And he actually brought that up. It seems like he's monitoring my social media or something. Like, that shows he's biased towards me. Like, he had prior knowledge of me, apparently, because I've got, like, hundreds of police incident videos, and a lot of cops are hostile towards me for, exposing some bad cops and all that. So it seems like he had prior knowledge of that, and he actually brings that up in the email. Like, this dude's exposing himself in that email. So that shows that there's a conflict of interest. He had, like, prior knowledge of me, like, filming police encounters sometimes. And that shows that there's likely a bias on his part towards me. So he shouldn't have handled this investigation in the first place, and he just exposed himself in that email, like, multiple times. But anyways, this is all being recorded. All of this is gonna be put online, so it's just a bad look for the OPCC if you don't. I don't really care if you don't enforce it, because I wasn't expecting much from this investigation anyways. I have zero confidence in the VPD to investigate themselves properly. I don't have much confidence in the OPCC, so I don't really care if you enforce it or not, but it's gonna make you guys look terrible, and it just reinforces the notion that a lot of people have that the whole police accountability process is corrupt. And, a lot of you have policing backgrounds, and it's not totally independent like you guys claim it is. But anyways, whatever, it just shows corruption. Like, you should enforce it. I don't really care if you do or not, because, again, he's already been exposed. Like, that email, I'm gonna put that on Twitter and stuff too. He's already exposed himself as, being corrupt, biased. So anyways, you keep saying you're gonna review it. There's nothing to review. Like, you won't admit that he's not, and that's a bad thing, right? It's obvious. You should just say it. He's actively obstructing the investigation. He's refusing to do his job. Like I said, I'm willing today, right? I'm gonna call him again and record that too. I'm gonna call him again right after getting off the phone with you and leave. He's probably not gonna pick up on purpose, but I'll leave a message and I'll say on that message that I want to give a police statement. I've said that to you that I want to give a police statement. I could give it to you right now. Like, can I? Like, are you willing to take my police statement, or are you too refusing to do your job? I'll give you that whole police complaint statement right now. Like, let's do it right now. Dahil dyan na phone drug this or something. What the fuck?
Are you still there?
Are you still there? So let's do it right now.
So I think
Since Rugby's phone.